Welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to preview round 13 of the 2024 NRL SuperCoach season. So the first big buy round is just about upon us. As you can see at the time of recording, just over a day to go until the Eels and Sharks kick things off. So as we like to do before locking in our final trades, we'll have a look at the teams. And we'll focus on, I guess, the top 10% of coaches. They're probably the most sort of active players in the game. So, interestingly, Kale Iro, the highest owned player in that category at 89%. I can see a few have traded him out this week. But the top trading target this week is James Tedesco, and I think rightly so. Obviously missing out on Origin. A nice break even of 28, coming off a 150 last week. And the Cowboys will be somewhat undermanned with, the likes of Dearden, Cotter, Val Holmes all out playing Origin. Excuse me. So I think, it could be the way to go if you're looking to bring in an extra gun for this week. I guess just be mindful. You can see the top three trade-ins, all Roosters players, Sam Walker and Nafahu White. I'd probably, try not to overload on Roosters, given that they're on the bye next week, along with the Raiders and the Dolphins. So we've already, got a few of those assets as well. So you don't want to be caught short in round 14 just to try and, make a bit of a leap in round 13. David Armstrong at number 4, I think, is a safe option. Given the break even, he's going to make some good money. I think other than round 16, he should cover most of the buy rounds. It probably does depend on Caleb Ponga whether he will cover round 19 and 20. So definitely get on Armstrong if you don't already have him. Dylan Brown at number 5. So I'd probably have him above Sam Walker if I'm being honest. Just given that he does cover round 14 as well. And not that I think Sam Walker's in the frame for Origin, but if something happened to DCE, he might find his way into a Queensland jumper. So Dylan Brown's a bit safer in terms of that as well. Jacob Kiraz at number 6. So, if you're looking for a gun, centre wing option, he's got really good buy coverage. I guess without Burton and Kickow, I guess that's probably not even the right side for him, to be fair. He has been playing on the right edge. He's sliding into centre. So there could be actually a bit more ball go through Kiraz and Sexton on that right-hand edge. So, I think it's still a good shout either way because he has that base, has the bit of upside as well, which we like. So get on Jacob Kiraz. I don't think he'll get 132. I'd love to see him get it though. Jacob Preston, so I guess back in the starting team with Kickout out. And you'd imagine playing close to 80 minutes, just given their bench is, 4 middle forwards essentially. They could use Curran on an edge, but I think they'll be more inclined to use him through the middle. Joey Manu, so I guess, if you really want to bring him in, you can. I think at his price, not playing fullback, it's probably a bit too rich for me. But I can definitely understand people getting on if you've got the money and you think Manu's going to do the job even from centre, then you can bring him in. Jack de Belin, so obviously the dual position's nice. The round 13-14 coverage is nice. Don't hate that as a front row option, or even I guess second row. And Val Holmes, not sure what's going on here. People bringing in Val Holmes, particularly in the top 10%. You should know better. He's on the bye this week. Oh, sorry, he's not on the bye. He's on Origin duty. So don't know what that's about, if I'm being honest. Mitchell Moses, I can see there at number 11, just real quickly. I do like him as an option. Probably after the big three: Cleary, Hines, Johnson. Moses would be my next sort of halfback in line, so he's probably the best halfback option playing this week. Although Dylan Brown, with his dual position flexibility, is probably still a safer option for the, uh, the the longer term picture. Um, so in terms of the trade outs, so quite a few trading out Nico Hines. I guess trying to use some trades to make some money through selling him. Obviously, you want a scoring player during this time. Break even at 190, so he should lose a lot of value and bring him back in. It's just whether you're comfortable with using two trades to get Nico Hines back in later. Angus Crichton, a very similar sort of thing. Obviously, a highish break even and playing Origin. So only playing one of the next four um, might be reason enough for some people to trade him out. Um, I guess what I'm inclined to do is if you are trading out Angus, I'd be making sure that you're getting Dave Feeder in next week. If you've already got him, probably Adam Fanua-Blake in the front row would be the other target. Would be the only two players I think would be worth trading out for Angus, or trading in, sorry, for Angus Crichton. Reece Walsh, so obviously out with the bye, but also the Bronco, or also playing Origin, I should say. Broncos are on the bye. That's what I was trying to get at. Um, so trading him to Tedesco, I think, is a savvy move. Despite having a good break even, um, I just think you're going to want players that are playing in those rounds. So I think Reece Walsh can come back in for a late season charge. Joey Lussick, so not named in the 17 for the Eels. You can have a look at late now, but I'm thinking at best he'll be on the bench. So absolutely get out of that pick if you have him, which I am definitely in. Um, I guess the one exception to that would be in the case of waiting a week to get Api Coruscant with his awesome buy schedule after round 13. Jacob Gagai, he's probably made all the money he's going to make us, so take the 100k and run. Zach Lomax, I think he could potentially hold, but he won't play through the Origin game. So if you can go to a Kiraz or someone like that is playing, I think that's okay. Joe Chan, so not sure who's being traded in for him, but absolutely you can get rid of him. Taylor May, yep, if you've got him, he has to go. And Dylan Edwards, I guess probably trading to Teddy's acceptable. Other than that, probably would consider holding. I think that's about 10. So we'll look at captaincy options as well. So Tedesco, obviously, if you've got him as the most popular option. So I guess 34.5% own and 26% out of that 34. Or was it? Sorry. So it's about 2/3 of those, or even more probably. I can't do the maths that quick. About 3/4 probably actually. I've gone the captaincy on him, which makes sense. Joe Manu, popular captain as well. I guess all these assets playing in the last game. It probably makes sense to look at that. Um, Dom Young, Sam Walker, I guess similar sort of stories. I think Dom Young's a bit risky to put as the captain, but he has gone big a couple of times this year, so who am I to steer people clear? Armstrong's an interesting shout against the Dogs. Hines and Edwards, I'm guessing, are people who just haven't done their trades yet. Pierce Paul and Jacob Kiraz, both interesting options in the Friday night game. A few people going the straight C on Dylan Brown. Jermaine Asako, interesting one against the Raiders. VC, I think Dylan Brown will be the most popular. So just having a look through, a lot of the same names appearing here. Matt Burton's not playing, so get the VC off him. Blaze Talangi on the bench, so probably not worth a VC. Kale interestingly enough, despite getting traded out a bit, is also a popular VC option on Thursday night. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. And yeah, if you've got Moses, I think, he's a good shout for VC this week also. So in terms of our trades, I don't think I actually reversed. Actually, I must have reversed because I haven't got them here. So I guess currently with the team lists, we haven't changed much since the round preview, or sorry, round review from round 12. So Lussick's out now, so we've got 3 front rowers, 3 second rowers. So Dylan Brown is 7, and then back 5 makes 12, and then 13 or 14 with Talangi and Fuller. So we technically only need 13, so we are okay. Um, but some people might suggest, well, I've always been talking about upgrading the hooker. But as I said, I'm very keen to get Appy Coruscant in next week. Um, and as I said, Angus Crichton can possibly go, but I would want to be trading him in for someone like Adam Fanua-Blake. I've got Dave Fafita already. So I guess what I'm thinking is we could actually just stick fat without making a trade this week. Obviously, we've got Kikau is one, so I might trade him just for a bit of insurance. So if I have a quick look, because I guess the great thing about this is none of these guys are playing this week. So I'm going to push Curran back. And I'm going to just have a quick look, if it'll let me. Any fear of working SuperCoach? Didn't think there'd be that many people on a Wednesday night looking at the teams. But that'll teach me. I'll just refresh and try again. No, the whole thing's gone. Alright, might try a sneaky edit and we'll get it back up and running once we can get the trades going. Alright, so as you can see after that bit of a delay, if I make those moves next week, Lussick, Crichton to Coruscant and Fanua-Blake, it gives me 233k in the bank, which means if I do want to trade out Kikau this week, I've got 722k to spend. So if we have a look through, Eli Katoa, I was on the buy, too expensive anyway. Just missed out on Isaiah Yeo, but playing Origin. Jeremiah Nanai's doing alright, but I've been burnt by him before. Paddy Carrigan, Origin. Jermaine Hopgood, Origin. Is in the price range, which is nice, but no good to us this week. Hudson Young, no thanks. He's good, but not for me. Yeah, you can see a lot of players on buy. So we've got Jack DeBellin, obviously, and then after that, I'm pretty sure the prices are going to tail away anyway. So I guess what I'm thinking is, if I want a player that'll cover the buys, which is the main goal, I'm still pretty keen on someone just like a Max Plath. I could go Jacob Preston for about 30k more if I could find him on the list. But I just think, Plath's pretty solid playing lock forward. The Dolphins do have that slightly different buy coverage. I do have a few Dogs players already with Hughes, Curran, Burton, Kiraz, so it could be a little bit of an issue in round 15. So happy to go another Dolphins player. I think I've only got Fuller and Osaka at the moment. So I'll just undo these other trades. And we'll just do this one this week. So we've got a 15th player, which is going to be handy. So we'll complete that. And just slap the reserve on Plath. So we've basically got a full bench now. We're just missing our 5'8" and our hooker. But obviously if Lussick plays, we'll have a crack with him in the team. Because the great thing is it's best 13. So even if he's on the field and Liam Henry outscores him, we'll actually get Henry's score over Lussick. So, realistically, you know, even if we don't count Lussick, out of the 15, there's a chance Talangi doesn't get a lot of time off the bench. Hopefully they do find a sort of position for him and give him a run. But other than that, pretty confident with all these guys. So it might just be that we, cop the lowest score. Probably, I'm guessing Sam Hughes would be, the 14th highest score out of the lot. Um, so that's fine. He'll drop off. Lussick probably drops off if he comes off the bench and does nothing. So pretty solid 13, I'm imagining this week. So they're very happy with that. I guess just do we. I mean, Tongi does play in the first game, but who should go on the bench in that case? Probably Asako. I mean, it probably doesn't really matter because it's best 13, so I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, that's all good. And captain, vice captain, I'll probably just stick with Brown into Drinkwater. Probably the two sort of best options I've got. Like I said, I'm not sure about Kiraz just with all the outs of the Dogs. I still think they'll win, but I just don't think it'll be spectacular. The Dolphins against the Raiders. The Raiders are going all right, so not big on a Sarko. Um, Armstrong against the Dogs. Again, I'm hoping the Dogs do the business, so sort of betting against there. And then, none of the forwards I think will go massive. So, yeah, I think we'll just leave it as is. So I guess that's the round preview, round 13 done. Obviously, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the SuperCoach content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.